Hello everyone, greeting from Akash. So today I am going to show you how to design workflow in Akash HR management system. As you may know that Akash is aiming to be a leading local affordable ERP system. But today is about the workflow designer in HRMS. So let's dive into the topic. So we go to setup, workflows. We leave all of these existing workflows here and let's create a new one. So put the name, let's say, and the trigger is on leave request. So let's create it. So here we have the workflow process and we have the button, the start button here. So you see the small dot here. So we can click on it and drag to create another process. So it's a blank note and we need to select the action. So let's say in IT department, we have two layers of approval. One is the supervisor level and another one is the department head. So the flow start with several actions. So the first one, we want to update record, the requesting leave. We select like status text. So we want to update the status text to submit it. All right. Then the next action, we can send mail to the supervisor. So the first layer is the direct reporting line. It means here the supervisor. So select the mail template. So I have the mail templates here set up previously. So select the leave request and select for approval. For this, you can click here to show the message template. This is the subject and you can freely edit the subject and the body message. However, now let's keep it here. Then the next should be after send an email for approval, we have to wait for the approval. So here the action is wait for approval and there's no more properties to be defined here. So this is the first layer, right? So let's review. The workflow start. The first action is the update leave record with the status text to submit it. And then it send an email to supervisor of the employee who is applying for leave. Then next action, so then after send an email for approval, we have to wait for approval, right? Then the flows stop here and it waits for the approval. Then when the approver make decision, so he or she has two options, to approve or to reject. So once they make the decision to approve or to reject, the flow resumes actions. So here we need a condition. All right. So we need a condition to check if approved, right? So if previous action is approved, then it will execute this line, or it was rejected, then it will execute this line, right? So it's like a standard workflows you draw using some tools, right? But this will do the actual actions. So we continue yes here. If yes, we can update the record again. So let's say to the status text to, like, let's say partial approved, like that. Or you may skip this and directly send the next email, right? Because we have another layer of approval from the department head. So here we can select another action to send email to head of department. So we have supervisor, head of department, send to requester, send to an employee, send to an applicant if it is in the recruitment workflows, head of division or head of section. So for now, let's leave all of this. And if you need more information about this in more detail, please comment so I will clarify later. So for now, we send another email to the department head for approval with this template, right? Same template, right? Because of the variable will replace to the recipient differently already. So we don't need to create another message template. All right? So now, what about if it is not approved? So it is not approved mean it is rejected, right? So we can do, let's say, update some status, and here we can copy and select and paste the properties. Then we change this to rejected, and we set the field rejected to true. And we also want to notify an email to the requester with this template leave rejected. All right, so this email is not for approval. We don't need this, right? We don't need to select this for approval, so just for information. So actually, if it is not approved from the first layer, the flow ends here and the record is marked as rejected. Then after send an email for approval, we need to wait for approval again, right? The same to the previous step. And then the same things here for next step, I think. So we need to check. We need to have a condition here to check for approval. So if approved and if rejected. So actually we can copy and paste. We create another, or we don't want to copy, we can select. So let's modify this. Actually here is a fully approved. So the final approve, you have to update the state here. Approve to true. And then send an email to notify the requester saying that leave is already approved. And you can also update to, let's say, HR, who is responsible for managing leave. So you select an employee, you can search, something like that, right? So the same things here, we can copy this and paste here. This is rejected, not approved. And I think that's it. So let's review our flow again. We click update to save and it reloads the flow. So now let's review. Flow start with this trigger and it updates leave, set status to submitted, and then it send an email to the supervisor. Then it waits for approval. If approved, update leaves to status text, send email to the next layer and wait for approvals. If rejected here at the first layer, update status text and set the rejected, and then mail to requester that your leave request has been rejected, something like this, by someone. Okay, then after the layer 2 approve or reject it, we need a condition here to check, right? And I think it is very useful to discuss more the relationship of the supervisor, head of department, how the flow detects these things. So for the supervisor level, the system will capture information from this field. So this means this employee is now reporting to this employee. That's simple. And for the rest, the system will check from the org chart. So here we have the org chart, we have the company and division level, and then department level, and then section level. Then we can set up the head of division here. And the same for department and section. I think all done. Thank you very much for your attention. If you need to implement an affordable enterprise class HR management system, please directly contact me.